They got a terrific program. Coach Jacobson has done an awesome job there. He's all-time winningest coach. I think he's coming up on close to a decade having been there. They've got really pretty much everyone back from the team that beat us last year at their place. Plus they've added a kid named Paul Jesperson, who transferred from Virginia, was a starter there, and then a couple freshmen that are really good players as well. And they've also done a nice job getting their returning guys better. Playing terrific defense. I believe they're holding teams to 55 points per game. The best player is Seth Tuttle, who starts at the forward position. He's a really good inside-outside player, finishes around the basket, can put the ball down on the floor. He's a great rebounder. But they've got a lot of really good parts on that team that all add up to make for a top 25 program.
Finals week this week, took a little break for the guys. What are the positives and negatives that kind of have that much time off this season?
Well, number one positive is it gives our guys a little bit of extra time to focus on school, finishing strong in school, doing a good job on their exams. I think sometimes there's, again, so much attention paid to basketball, people forget these guys are full-time students as well. So our guys had a really heavy day of exams yesterday. They have exams throughout the week, have some final papers to turn in. They've done a really good job academically and just need to finish strong now. So that's one of the positives. Also gives us some practice time, which is certainly a positive, a chance to work on some things, a chance to continue to get acquainted with what we need to do to get better, particularly on the defensive end, and just work to grow. I guess you asked about negatives. I guess the negative would be we don't get to play another game until Saturdays, particularly when you're coming off a loss. You'd like to play as soon as you can, but the schedule is what it is.
Anybody who remembers the freshman year kind of remembers the culture shock that finals week was. Do you spend time with maybe give a little bit more words to the freshmen in the group about how they anticipate and how to encounter finals week?
I try to talk to all these guys about what's coming up this week, and we're fortunate to have Sophia. She does such a great job with our guys, preparing them and giving them the resources necessary and the support necessary to be successful. But yeah, we talked a lot about what they need to do to finish strong. It's a lot for the freshmen, for the young guys. It's a long semester. Basketball-wise, there's been a lot thrown at them. So it's very important that they finish strong, and in a couple of weeks they'll get a chance to go home and relax for a little while. And then certainly when exams get done, they'll get a chance to relax academically.
Can you comment about your answer to your last question about wanting to play soon after UVA? In talking to Coach Lee, he said in the early season, the games can't come back. You just want to get back out there on the court. Do you feel that way in general, and then perhaps exams this week?
Well, it's a double-edged sword because players like games. Coaches like games, but coaches like practice too. So I'm excited about this week of practice for us because it is really an opportunity to get guys better, particularly younger guys that maybe haven't gotten as many minutes. I'm excited about that, but certainly definitely look forward to playing anytime we can. Especially when you're coming off a loss, you want to play again. You want to get a chance to get back out there and compete.
I'm sure you've watched the tape last year, so that game right now. What stands out about that game?
In terms of what?
In terms of what you take away from that, what you can use and apply for this year.
Well, there's a lot of basketball specifics, the way they defended certain things, what they ran on offense, personnel. Their personnel is very, very similar. Like I said, they've added a couple guys. But it was a game on the road where we were close for most of the game, but we never really got over the hump. We didn't shoot the ball particularly well. I think Jordan Burgess was the only one who really had a good shooting day. So take away from that game, we need to play better. We need to get better. I think that game was in mid-December, and we're kind of in a similar place in terms of we need to continue to progress and grow. And I think Northern Iowa's a better team this year than they were last year. In fact, I know they are. And so we're going to have to certainly play better than we did last year.
Coach, film the tape for Saturday. Is there anything that drastically saw a little bit different on the film that you didn't see at first glance on Saturday?
Well, there's always a lot of things you see, details that you see. More specifically, when you're looking at one individual guy or a play, you watch a play 10 times in a row. We just weren't sound enough on the defensive end. I thought our guys really gave great effort for the majority of the game. I do think some of our starters got tired. They expend a lot of energy, and in a game like that, there's a lot of emotional energy that can, initially give you a lot of intensity and a lot of fight, but then eventually that can drain you as well.
Coach, I know there are a lot of stats important that are in terms of points and all the other categories, but you look at the stats and it looks like two guys scored the majority of the points in terms of Mel and Trey. Is it fair to say that you guys need to find a third and fourth guy to balance that out, or is it, hey, as long as they're going in the hoop, it's all good?
No, I think you're right. I think on any really good team, you have several different scoring options and guys that can put the ball in the basket. We knew going into the year that Trey and Mel were going to be our two best scorers, our two most potent, guys from an offensive standpoint. But we do have other guys that can score. There's some guys that have struggled so far percentage-wise from the field. Jaquan Lewis is a guy that, we really felt like coming off of last year and coming into this year would be able to score at a pretty good clip. He's really, really struggled shooting the ball and scoring the ball. Terry Larrier is a guy we know that can score. He's just, making that freshman transition, so it might take him some time. Jordan's had his moments. I think we need to continue getting more opportunities and more shots. He shoots the highest percentage, but he's only getting, just under 5 shots a game. So we need to get him the ball more. So that's just to name a few guys. And it doesn't have to be the same guy every game. It can be different guys that step up. Briante obviously is involved in a lot of plays, and when he plays really well, he finds layups here and pull-ups there, and we obviously need to get that from him consistently.
Is there anything besides going into the gym and getting shots up you can do for a guy mentally in terms of guys that are struggling, or is it pretty much just kind of trying to work that out in the gym?
Well, you try to get him to be aggressive. I think the number one thing is to be effective on the offensive end or the defensive end is you got to play with a clear head. You've got to be able to have a clear mind for what you're going to do and what your goal is as a team and as an individual to go out there on the floor. And it's easier said than done. Sometimes there's other factors that weigh in, but I think that's really what this week is all about for us. Is us, again, having a clear mind for improving, getting better, and then putting our best foot forward against Northern Iowa on Saturday.
You see it differently than most people do in Elijah, because you know how you want it to work. But in general, what have your thoughts been about shot selection of your guys?
Actually, overall, better than last year. To be honest with you, we for as good a defensive team as Virginia is, we got a lot of really good looks that we did not make. Now, there was a stretch in the first half where we got a little stagnant offensively, and there was a couple of late clock situations where we had to throw up a bad shot. So certainly need to get better. But, man, I thought, when we did move the ball and attack, we got some really, really good shots. There was people talk about timely baskets. There was some timely good shots that we just did not make in that game, which certainly could have helped. But, at the same time, our guys really did a good job attacking. We had a stretch there where we ran basically the same play 3 times in a row. Guys got downhill, passed the ball to Trey in the corner, wide open looks. I mean, those are the type of shots we want. Shot selection and making the right read has been a big emphasis for us. Jeremy Ballard shows these guys after every game. We show our reads, and did we make the right read? Did we take the right shot? So I think we're making progress with that, but you really haven't seen that reflected in the field goal percentage the last few games. So we just got to keep getting in the gym and getting better.
Coach, coming off that game Saturday, what are you hoping to see from your players during practice this week, getting ready to play on the night?
Just an emphasis on improving, getting better. It's very early in the season. Obviously we need to prepare for Northern Iowa and be ready for a top flight team coming in here. But to be honest, it's more about us being the best we can be. I think there's certain things that carry over from game to game, no matter who you're playing, that are important and that go into winning. So that's where our focus needs to be, on those things.
How your effort chart compare this year to the past?
I would say certain things, in certain areas similar, in other areas, like for instance, in Virginia we were pretty good with this, but our deflections have been down to some extent. Virginia, they were a little above average, even compared to last year, but before that, like the four games or so before that, not where they needed to be. So we got to keep getting better. The effort chart typically correlates pretty closely with how well you're playing on the defensive end, and how many points you're holding teams to. Actually, we're doing a good job in terms of getting on the floor, coming up with loose balls, but then you got to go convert those. There was one in the Virginia game. Our guys did a great job diving on the floor and scrapping the play out, but then Evan Nolte from Virginia did an equally great job running the play down behind. He laid out. I showed most of our guys the play. I said, this is a winning play. He completely laid out and tipped the ball to one of his teammates. So, you have to convert those opportunities when you get them.
That's kind of what I'm asking. I think you've been unhappy with the defense as a whole, but I wonder if the effort's there, the rotations, and I guess the comfort with it.
The effort's there. I think a couple of things. There are some tired plays, tired possessions from our older guys that are playing extended minutes, and then there's some possessions where you have 2-3 younger guys in there that just haven't learned yet the right rotation or the same urgency they need to have, or the vision of man and ball. And again, those are things we've got to continue. We got to work extremely hard at. We got to drill ad nauseum, and we will.
Coach, Jordan seems like he's a guy who's taking a little bit of a step forward this year. He's shooting a much higher percentage. What kind of things is he doing better, or where is he growing from last year?
Well, I think just confidence is the first thing. He's played with a lot more confidence. He's more sure of himself. He's mostly moved beyond comparisons with Brad. I think last year that was, for whatever reason, a big deal. He's his own man. He's his own player. He's a different type of player. But, what he's been able to do for us is provide a level of toughness. And he's one of those guys that almost always is in the right place defensively. And we need more guys like that. And as you mentioned, he's shot the ball better than he did last year so far.
Seems to be finishing around the basket a little stronger, a little more efficiently. Is that just a matter of drills, or is that also just a confidence thing?
To be honest with you, the biggest thing is, this speaks to Wes's question, he's taking less bad twos. Last year he would kind of throw some up there when he's got like 2 guys around him, and those are low percentage shots. And he's just done a much better job of giving that ball up instead of forcing it.
Coach, second straight event How much of a big deal is that for the program to have back-to-back ranked teams playing you?
Yeah, I think it just speaks to how far we've come and how far, our scheduling. It seems like internally, it always seems like we got a long, long way to go. But again, this is non-conference play. This isn't conference play, and we have two ranked teams in a row coming in here, and you can, I think, count on one hand, maybe two, the number of ranked teams that have come in here ever. So it says a lot. But then at the same time, it means you better play high-level basketball if you want to have a chance to win. So, but this is the type of schedule we wanted to put together to test our team and to challenge our team. Our guys obviously have a respect level for Northern Iowa because we've played them. This will be our third time playing them in 4 years, and we went up to their place and lost last year. So I'm sure it'll be a great atmosphere again. We're really fortunate to have that, and looking forward to the game.
Is that still a challenge for the program to kind of bring high profile?
Oh yeah, challenging is an understatement. I think scheduling is one of the toughest things to do. There's a lot of different levels in college basketball. Whatever level we are, it's a challenging thing to schedule.